Imagine this. Maria, a retired school teacher in San Jose, spent her life carefully saving for retirement. She trusted her nephew, who offered to help, with her online banking. At first, it seemed harmless. He paid her bills and kept things organized, but within a year, her savings had quietly dwindled. By the time her daughter noticed, tens of thousands of dollars were gone. Sadly, Maria's story isn't unusual. Financial abuse of seniors is one of the fastest growing forms of elder abuse, and most of the time, it's not committed by strangers. It's by the people the senior knows and trusts. I'm Dale Corpus, a senior transition specialist and real estate expert based in the San Francisco Bay Area. And as part of the sandwich generation myself, I know how overwhelming it can be to juggle raising a family while caring for aging parents. This is another episode of the Sandwich Generation Solutions, powered by the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast, where I give you real stories, expert insights, and practical tips to make this season of life easier. Today, we're diving into a critical and emotional topic: how to spot financial abuse before it starts. Let's dive in. Financial abuse of seniors happens more often than people think. Studies show that 1 in 10 seniors experience some form of elder abuse, and financial exploitation is at the top of the list. And it's not just strangers running phone scams. In fact, the majority of cases involve trusted individuals, family members, caregivers, or even financial professionals who misuse their access. In the Bay Area, where the cost of senior care can be staggering, sometimes $6,000 to $12,000 per month, adult children may feel financial pressure. That's why boundaries, transparency, and early awareness are so important. Let me share another story. This one fictional, but based on real situations I've seen families face. John, an 82-year-old widower in Walnut Creek, started having trouble remembering passwords. His son offered to take over handling his checking account. At first, it seemed like the right move, but over time, his son began withdrawing cash for himself, saying it was to cover expenses he'd taken on for dad. By the time John's daughter reviewed the account, thousands of dollars were missing, and family trust was shattered. The story highlights how financial abuse often starts small and builds quietly until it becomes a serious crisis. So, how can you spot financial abuse before it escalates? Here are the red flags to watch for. 1. Sudden changes in banking habits. Frequent large withdrawals, unusual transfers, or unpaid bills when money should be available. New friends or relatives suddenly involved, especially if they start isolating the senior from others. 3. Unexplained changes in legal documents. Wills, trusts, or powers of attorney rewritten without clear reasoning. 4. Fear or confusion about money. If your parent seems anxious when you ask about finances, that's a signal. 5. Missing belongings or valuables, jewelry, heirlooms, or cash disappearing without explanation. Spotting these signs early can mean the difference between protecting your parent's nest egg and watching it disappear. Why does this happen so often to seniors? Well, here are some reasons. 1. Cognitive decline. Even mild forgetfulness can make it easy for others to take advantage. 2. Social isolation. Seniors who are lonely may be more trusting of people who are paying attention to them. 3. Generational trust. Many seniors grew up in an era where a handshake was as good as a contract. That trust can be exploited. 4. Reluctance to report. Some seniors feel embarrassed or they don't want to get a family member in trouble. Understanding these vulnerabilities helps us create safeguards before abuse happens. Now, let's talk about proactive steps. 1. Have the money talk early. Don't wait until a crisis. Sit down with your parents while they're still healthy and discuss how bills, banking, and legal documents will be handled if they need help. 2. Set up transparency. Consider joint accounts with clear oversight or use online banking alerts so multiple trusted family members can see activity. 3, use legal protections. Establish a power of attorney, but only truly trustworthy. In some cases, a professional fiduciary may be a safer option than relying on one adult child. 4, encourage professional oversight. Accountants, financial advisors, and elder law attorneys can serve as impartial eyes, reducing opportunities for abuse. 5, stay connected. The more engaged you are in your parents' life, the harder it is for financial exploitation to go unnoticed. Here in the Bay Area, there are resources families can tap into. Adult Protective Services, APS, investigates elder abuse, including financial exploitation. Legal aid organizations often provide free or low-cost support for seniors. Local senior centers in Contra Costa, Alameda, and Santa Clara counties frequently host workshops on fraud prevention. Sometimes the best protection is simply making sure your parent isn't isolated, because isolation is the breeding ground for abuse. To end on a more positive note, let's revisit John's story from earlier. In our fictional example, once John's daughter realized what was happening, she stepped in immediately. The family brought in a financial advisor, set up account alerts, and worked with an attorney to put protections in place. Yes, there was damage done, but by acting quickly, they stopped the abuse and began rebuilding trust. And John regained peace of mind knowing his money was being safeguarded. That's the hope I want to leave you with. While financial abuse is real and painful, it's also preventable if you know the signs and act early. This has been another episode of the Sandwich Generation Solutions powered by the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast. If your loved one is considering senior living and you're worried about protecting their home, assets, and dignity, let's talk. Schedule a free consultation with me and learn more about my services at www.simplifyseniortransitions.com. Have a quick question, DM me on Instagram at SoulByDale. And don't forget, my podcast, Simplify Senior Transitions, is available right here on this YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms. If you found this video helpful, please hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this information. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode.